There is a place on Earth that looks like another planet. A place so remote you have to drive hours on some of the worst roads you can imagine. A place where you can climb an active volcano in one of the hottest regions in the world. Harsh, hostile, and completely surreal. But that's not the only extreme you'll find here. In the mountains of northern Ethiopia, there are churches carved into rock, some of them sitting hundreds of meters above the ground. To reach them, you have to climb straight up the cliff. In the first part of this Ethiopia adventure, we explored the south of the country, meeting some of the most fascinating tribes in the Omo Valley. But in this second part, we head north to a completely different world. I will take you into the Danakil Depression, one of the hottest places on Earth, and we will explore the region of Tigray, known for its incredible rock churches, landscapes, and history. Join me as we visit places most people never get to see. Our journey begins right after we landed in a small town called Semera, because it's right here where the road into the Danakil Depression starts. And because the Danakil Depression sits at the connecting point of three tectonic plates, you can find a bunch of geothermal lakes like this, which looks really like in Iceland, but the only difference is that it's not 10 degrees or 0, but it's now about 35 degrees, and in the afternoon it will be like 40 or even more. Use this as a toothbrush. These small wooden branches. We just got to one of the largest small Afar towns here in the region. We are about 100 kilometers from Djibouti, which is a very important place because the port there is used basically to import anything inside Ethiopia and inside Afar region. We are very big surprise to And once you drive out of the town, you can reach many small Afar villages. Here, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of desert, you have a bunch of very basic shelters which are just made out of wood, covered with some blanket. And this is how majority of Afar people live in these very harsh conditions. Right now it's afternoon, so it's 40 degrees at least, and almost everyone is inside because it's just very hot, but I cannot imagine how hot it must be inside. This is the whole family that lives here, as you can see. So let's go inside and see how Afar live. This is how the traditional Afar house looks like. You see here, this is the place for the whole family. This is the bedroom where the whole family sleeps. These are all of their belongings. Like this. This is incredible. Like there are many places that I wouldn't want to live in, but I think this tops them all because the environment, the desert, it's just incredible. I cannot imagine how the people can live here. driving for a few hours, we are now literally in the middle of nowhere. But after many hours of just the desert, of very harsh conditions out here, it's incredible that there is a bunch of grass and just grows here, which I don't really understand because there's no water, almost no rain. So probably there's some underground water here. We're taking a bit of a walk after sitting for a few hours in the car, and we are still heading north towards one of the most unique volcanoes in this area, which is still active. We just set off for a short walk to this random hill, and from there we may see even a better view. And right at the top there's some interesting structure built out of these rocks, so that's our goal, to reach it now. Well, this seems like we are in Australia, like Australian Uluru. See, it's exactly the same. If it would be just more red, then really there's no difference. But the only difference is that it really is super hot. Like, I have a feeling like I am literally in sauna. Or the funny thing is that when you are in sauna, it's like 95 degrees. But now it's only 40 or 42 degrees, but I feel like it's the same or even hotter. We just stopped at the local restaurant for lunch, and this restaurant is just amazing. See, we are here, chairs from the wood. It's like 35, 40 degrees out here. I think this is the kitchen, or somewhere nearby. No, the kitchen will be there. And we have arrived to our accommodation for the night. So 5-star resort up here on the volcano, and there is the volcano itself. We will hike there in a while. These are our 2 cars, because you cannot go here on your own with just 1 car, because if 1 car is broken, then you are finished. So we have 2 cars. The smoke from the volcano started coming here, and just after 2-3 minutes I started coughing so badly, so I needed to put on at least this mask, because unfortunately I don't have a face mask respirator with me, so at least this helped a bit. We started our hike to the summit of the volcano, and already here the smoke is really bad. And if you ever come here to this place, please don't forget to take your face mask, your FFP2 respirator. You will truly regret it and feel like you will suffocate. So we have reached almost the top of the volcano, and right here you can see the fresh lava which was here during the last eruption just a few months ago. Because up until I think less than a year ago, there were a few pillars from which lava was just pouring out, like in Iceland, and there was also a big lava lake. But less than a year ago it collapsed and suddenly there was no lava anymore. So this is what you see here are the remains from the smoke just got into my lungs. So these are the remains of a very fresh lava just from a few months ago. After the morning hike, quick breakfast, we are hopping off to the car to head even more north to the hottest place of the Danakil depression. Even right now, it's still not even 9 a.m., but it's already very, very hot and it's gonna get only worse. So we are hopping into the car, driving more north to a place called Dallol. It's the hottest place of Danakil depression and one of the hottest places in the entire world. Well, it looks like we got a completely flat tire, unfortunately. Bad luck. Well, getting flat tire is one thing, but getting flat tire in the middle of nowhere when there's about 40 degrees is a whole different level. Just arrived to our next location for the night. Our hotel is already ready. These are our beds and we will sleep here in the local village with Afar people. So this is our camp and we will head out for the sunset to one lake nearby, which is actually a salt flat. I hope that it's gonna be cooler at night because now it's really 40 degrees. Really, really hot. I cannot imagine how the people can live here. It's like insane. Those are their houses. Literally look like this. Hello. We got to Lake Asala, which is not a lake in traditional terms, but it's a giant salt flat from where the local Afar people are extracting salt. And the first place that it reminds me of is, of course, Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, the largest salt flat in the entire world, where we went few years ago. It's incredible that the big hills of the salt you see behind me, those are prepared by the Afar people and then they are extracted and exported all over Ethiopia. Slowly but surely the temperature is going a bit down. I think maybe now it's 36, 37 degrees. And we will explore the lake. wait for the sunset, and I didn't expect to see this kind of landscape here in Ethiopia. So it's 5 a.m. and we have just started our way to the hottest part of Danakil depression and probably the hottest place on earth, to the place called Dallol. It should be about 60 kilometers until we reach there, so that's why we are starting this early, because otherwise throughout the day it can be like 50 degrees or even more. Well, the worst nightmare just came true. After not even 10 kilometers of driving, we got a puncture flat tire. The same tire, same wheel as yesterday. But the problem is that the first puncture tire is up there. So the second one. So now we can just hope that our second car, which is just coming back, they hopefully have one more spare tire, because otherwise we are finished. And we've just arrived to Dallol, one of the hottest places on earth. And from here, we have to walk for about 20-30 minutes. Also, there's a rule that you have to visit this place only with the local military. So we have one guy, he has a rifle gun, AK-47, and he's going with us. Wow, this really feels like arriving to Mars. So we are walking here, but we have to be very careful because you can fall down through the ground any moment. And now it's 6 a.m. but already it's like 37 degrees, so during the day it must be at least 50. Guys, I've seen a lot of crazy places around our planet, but this right here, this is one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen. Honestly, even before coming here, when I saw the photos, I wasn't sure that it's not like AI, because this really feels like out of this world. This feels like generated by AI. This looks like absolutely insane. So even if only for this place, the whole journey was worth it. 2 days and hundreds of kilometers spent on one of the worst roads you can imagine, sleeping outside on the ground in very bad conditions, all was worth it just because of this place. Like, I think it will be very hard to top this place, to see something more crazy. Wow. Good morning and welcome to Tigray, a completely different part of Ethiopia than what we experienced in the past few days. Yesterday we arrived here and coming from Danakil depression, which was about minus 100 meters above sea level, to here where the average elevation is 2,300 meters. And I'm really excited to see this part of Ethiopia. A part which in the last few years suffered from many conflicts, from big war between the Ethiopian government and here Tigray people. It was like one of the biggest wars in the 21st century, which many people didn't even know about. There was an estimated of 400 to 500,000 casualties, mostly civilians, and even now, after 2 years of somewhat peace, the tension is starting to build up again, and there are rumors maybe in just a few weeks another war will start. So let's just hope it will not start now, once we are here, and we will try to meet the local people of Tigray, see how they live, and explore the beauty of this region.
تكل هيمنة كيدان عميرة بداني علم يوحنس قدس أباس بحاجة لغري ما كل يوم سألك نحن يبيبا سيقام سنين بدو بورع مثل عن اللهم ملائكة. So this is the cooking of the traditional injera, which is the traditional meal all over Ethiopia. Everybody eats it. Good morning. Right now, I'm in the mountains of Tigray region, and today is definitely the highlight of the entire trip, because Tigray is famous for its rock churches, because many people here are Orthodox Christians, and they are one of the oldest churches in the world. Many built in 4th, 6th century, and specifically there are rock churches, which are carved inside the rock. And right now we are climbing right here to probably the most iconic place here in Tigray. It's a church called Abuna Mata. It's carved inside the rock about 250 meters above the ground, and to reach it you have to hike here for about one and a half hours and then climb on the rock with a very minimal safety equipment. We are now climbing to the top, and let's see how we're gonna get there. And now the difficult section starts. And here at the top of the church you can also find this cave full of human bones, which are the remains of the priests and monks that were living here, and they didn't want to be buried down in the villages, but they left their bodies right here. And we have arrived to probably the most extreme church in the world. Here you have a 200-meter drop, and by climbing this rock you will arrive to the church itself. Going on this ledge, very small one, you just slip one wrong step and you are down there 200 meters on the ground. Good morning. Today is our last day here in Ethiopia, and we are all the way at the north at a city called Aksum, which is a very special place. It's the holiest place of Orthodox Christians who live here in Ethiopia, and there are many churches. Right now it's Sunday, 6 a.m. and we headed outside because today there's a big mass, and actually all night from midnight there were different chants, and you can hear it from every speaker, every church. And now in the morning, thousands of people in the white scarves just enter the streets, and they are praying here in front of the church. Many more hundreds or thousands people are inside the church, but it's so crowded that the rest just decided to stay outside and pray.
And after our morning walk around Aksum, the whole Ethiopian adventure slowly came to an end. And what an incredible expedition it was. Spending 14 days in this fascinating country allowed us to explore so many different places. Meeting the tribes of South Ethiopia, venturing to the hottest place on earth, and hiking on an active volcano, or climbing to the most extreme church in the world. It definitely wasn't an easy trip. We have experienced deadly floods that killed more than 120 people. We slept outside on the volcano in Danakil depression, drove thousands of kilometers on some of the worst roads you can imagine, but it was all worth it. Ethiopia really surprised me, and I hope you enjoyed this adventure with me as much as I did. And I will see you next time.